My name is LuAnn, and knowing my biomarkers saved my life.
Fortunately, or maybe I should say unfortunately, I never had any symptoms of colon cancer. Perhaps if I had, I would have gotten a colonoscopy at an earlier age. At 53, it was finally convenient for me to get one. However, after awakening from the sedation and barely coherent, my local GI doctor told me there was a 7-centimeter mass in my cecum. The day before my big appointment with the colon surgeon, I went to pick up the disc and the report from the CT of the abdomen on my lunch break. As I drove away, I now stopped at a red light. I opened the envelope and fast-forwarded to the impression section of the written report to read, hepatic metastatic tumors in both lobes of my liver. Apparently that mass in the cecum was cancerous and had spread to my liver. Things went black. For all of 2018, it was chemo, hair loss, vomiting, diarrhea, extreme weakness, extreme fatigue, sepsis, surgeries, chemo again.
I was very fortunate with stage 4 colorectal cancer that had metastasized to my liver to be considered resectable. So for surgery, they did a right hemicolectomy, a liver resection. They removed the gallbladder and the appendix. And I felt okay upon discharge to the hospital, but then a day and a half later, I knew something was very wrong. So I was terribly sick after the resections. I had gone septic, I had a leak at the site of resection, and I was hospitalized for over a month. What gave me the strength to fight so hard was my children. I have a son, Drew, and a son, Christian, and I just was not ready to leave them yet.
Fast forward to September 2018, and finally able to be ambulatory and somewhat normal, we then resumed chemo. That's considered adjuvant chemo, mop-up chemo for any potential microscopic cancer cells that may be in your system. It seemed to have worked because scans and the utilization of liquid biopsies were coming back as NED, no evidence of disease. I was still very sick, of course, but happy and enjoying life because of the results, and was very optimistic. In 2020, a recurrence was discovered via a CAT scan and a liquid biopsy that came back positive for what's called ctDNA, circulating cancer cells. They were picking up mutations that were not in my solid tumor panel report. There are diagnostics to help you really and truly catch it early. Fortunately, again, I was able to be resected. I fired my previous oncologist because although we had indications that something was brewing and our advanced scans showed it, she was not as proactive as I needed her to be. And this is where biomarkers finally came into my story. My new progressive oncologist tested additional biomarkers and discovered that I had a tumor mutational burden, also known as your TMB, and PDL1 expression of 26. Although I was considered MSS, microsatellite stable, and not microsatellite high, he felt that immunotherapy could be a valid option. I then consulted with 2 other top oncologists in the Northeast, and they all agreed. In March of 2020, the test came back positive for ctDNA at 1.8 milliliters per meter. And then in May 2020, the test came back positive for ctDNA at 7.7 milliliters per meter. We knew the cancer was growing, and it was showing up now in a cardiophrenic lymph node by my heart. We needed to act quickly. Fast forward to only 2 rounds of the drugs, and we did a repeat of the liquid biopsy. On a Sunday morning at 8 a.m., my oncologist called me personally at home to tell me that the liquid biopsy was zero, zilch, nada, nothing. Anything that had been visible prior was now completely gone. I'm happy to report that the liquid biopsies are still coming back negative. The oncologist has thrown the word cure into there, but of course time will only tell. I feel great. There have been major side effects from such strong checkpoint inhibitor therapy, immunotherapy, but I'm able to manage it. I now have a chronic condition referred to as adrenal insufficiency, which I can manage, but it's not cancer, and there is hope.
I would say that, as I would say with any cancer patient, know your disease. Know it like the back of your hands. Research until your eyes hurt. Because if your doctor is not completely aware of the most up-to-date treatments, you may have less of a chance. If you are not happy with your oncologist, if you have done your research, if you have joined social media support groups and interacted with them, and you think that your oncologist is not giving you the best care to give you the best chance, I strongly, strongly encourage every patient to get 1, 2, 3 opinions, and then pull those opinions together and see what seems to make the most sense to you. Ask questions. If your oncologist doesn't know, tell him or her that you'll learn together, because it is your body, it is your disease, and you should always, always work with your medical team as a team. So biomarker testing has opened up a new world for me. Knowing my biomarkers with my type of cancer has given me different treatment options. It's given me the success to say that I'm NED. It has given me a whole new avenue and a tremendous amount of hope, knowing that there are treatment options that can save my life. For more information about biomarker testing, please visit www.knowyourbiomarker.org.